Hello and welcome to our Bible study of 1 Kings, and today we are in chapter 4. So far we've learned a little bit about Solomon and his wisdom that he prayed to God for because he was such a young king and God is obliging, and then some, as we saw in the story in the previous chapter where he managed to find the true mother of a baby using great wisdom. So let's see what happens in chapter 4. Not too much of a long one. Let's see what there is to dig out here. So King Solomon was king over all Israel, and these were the princes which he had: Azariah the son of Zadok the priest, Elihoreph and Ahiah the sons of Shisha, scribes, Jehoshaphat the son of Ahilud the recorder, and Benaiah the son of Jehoiada was over the host, and Zadok and Abiathar were the priests. Okay, so Benaiah, son of Jehoiada, over the host. So that is the commander. That was Joab's role. And Zadok and Abiathar were still priests. And Azariah, the son of Nathan, was over the officers. And Zabud, the son of Nathan, was principal officer and the king's friend. And Ahishar was over the household, and Adoniram, the son of Abda, was over the tribute. And Solomon had 12 officers over all Israel, which provided victuals for the king and his household. Each man his month in a year made provision. And these are their names: the son of Hur in Mount Ephraim, the son of Dikah in Makaz, and in Shalbim, and Beth Shemeth, and Elon Beth-Hanan. Do love the names. They don't make it easy for us, do they? Okay, so we see more of Solomon's wisdom here in how he organised his administration. So he delegated responsibility for the kingdom's order and efficiency. So he's got secretaries, they might prepare official documents. We've got a court historian keeping record of the court's activities. We've got priests, we've got commander of the army. And he also divided the nation into 12 districts with 12 deputies. And each one provided food for the king and his household for 1 month of the year. So Solomon also displayed God's wisdom, because it was from God, in how he organised his administration. But let's keep reading because they've got more people. The son of Hesed in Aruboth, to him pertained Sokoh and all the land of Hepher. The son of Abinadab in all the region of Dor, which had Tappath the daughter of Solomon to wife. Bana the son of Ahilud, to him pertained Tanak and Megiddo, and all Bethshean, which is by Zartana beneath Jezreel, from Bethshean to Abel Meholah, even unto the place that is beyond Jokneam. The son of Geba in Ramoth Gilead, to him pertain the towns of Jair, the son of Manasseh, which are in Gilead. To him also pertain the region of Argob, which is in Bashan, 80 great cities with walls and brazen bars. Ahinadab, the son of Edo, had Mahanaim. Ahimaaz was in Naphtali. He also took Basmath, the daughter of Solomon, to wife. Bana, the son of Hushai, was in Asher and Aloth. Jehoshaphat, the son of Parua, in Issachar. Shimei, the son of Elah, in Benjamin. Geba, the son of Uri, was in the country of Gilead, in the country of Sihon, king of the Amorites, and Og, king of Bashan. He was the only officer which was in the land. Okay, so those are all his people and everyone who he had working. Judah and Israel were many, as the sand which is by the sea in multitude, eating and drinking and making merry. That's a great visual when they describe it to the number of people is like the number of sand on a beach. Like, that's how many people, and they were having a great time. And Solomon reigned over all kingdoms, for the river unto the land of the Philistines and unto the border of Egypt. They brought presents and served Solomon all the days of his life. So there were an enormous generation. And this was actually fulfilling the prophecy of Genesis, when God promises to have a huge generation, fulfilling prophecy in Genesis. And this is an important one as well, that the king extracted tribute from the nations under his rule, and they served him. Okay, and this shows that God can take the resources of unbelievers and use them for his kingdom purposes. God can take resources from unbelievers and use them for his kingdom. Okay. And Solomon's provision for one day was 30 measures of fine flour and 80 measures of meal, 10 fat oxen and 20 oxen out of the pastures, and 100 sheep, besides harts and roebucks and fallow deer and fatted fowl. For he had dominion over all the reign of the side of the river, from Tifsa even to Azar, over all the kings of this side of the river, and he had peace on all sides round about him. That's nice. And Judah and Israel dwelt safely, every man under his vine, under his fig tree, from Dan even to Beersheba, all the days of Solomon. And Solomon had 40,000 stalls of horses for his chariots, and 12,000 horsemen, and those officers provided victual for King Solomon, and for all that came unto King Solomon's table, every man in his mouth, they lacked nothing. Barley also, and straw for the horses, and dromedaries brought they unto the place where the officers were, every man according to his charge. So we see here that his daily provisions were enormous. Like, there is a lot that he wanted. They didn't lack anything though, and I can see why he distributed the job to 12 different men, so they just had to do it for 1 month out of the year, because that's a lot of work. So that, again, that was wisdom for him to just say, you only have to do this once, and he delegated the job. So the provisions were vast. Wisdom to divide it among 12 people. But they lacked nothing. God promised that he would bless Solomon with wisdom and the right heart to judge, but he also said, I'm going to give you wealth and abundance as well. Because he didn't ask for it, because that's a selfish human need, fleshly need I should say, and he wants us to focus on things deeper than that. Alright, let's finish it off. And God gave Solomon wisdom and understanding exceeding much, and largeness of heart, even as the sand that is on the seashore. I love the reference to sand again. It's showing, complete abundance. Because, you can never count sand. It's impossible. It's just so much. And I'm going to highlight this. I haven't highlighted in a while, if you've noticed. If you've been with me a while, you'll know that I highlight with tape, just in this particular Bible, purely because it's neater. And I only highlight things that really stand out to me, that when I'm flicking through my Bible, it can just catch my eye and I'll read it. So the words of a talebearer are as wounds, and they go down in the innermost parts of the belly. So when I'm flicking through, I can point things out that instead of reading the whole text, sometimes I just like to flick through for the highlights. So yeah, I like this. God gave Solomon wisdom and understanding, exceeding much, with a largeness of heart. Huge heart, lots of understanding, and lots of wisdom. In abundance. And Solomon's wisdom excelled the wisdom of all the children of the east country and all the wisdom of Egypt, for he was wiser than all men. He was the most wise man ever. Well, funny that I just flicked open to Proverbs actually when I did that last. Those are his writings. Okay. He was wiser than all men, even than Ethan and the Ezrahite, and Heman and Calcol and Dada the son of Mahal, and his fame was in nations all round about. So he was famous, and he spake 3,000 proverbs, and his songs were 1,005. And he spake of trees, from the cedar tree that is Lebanon, even unto the hyssop that springeth out of the wall. He spake also of beasts and of fowl, and of creeping things, and of fishes. And there came all people to hear the wisdom of Solomon, from all kings of the earth, which had heard of his wisdom. So his wisdom was everywhere. It says here that he even was able to talk about plants and animals. He's a botanist and a zoologist, as well as an author here. And he was much more wise than any other man. So he was the wisest man ever, and famous for it. And there came all the people to hear, from all kings of the earth. So we've got other kings around the world wanting to come to listen to Solomon's wisdom. Kings from around the world came to listen to him. That's amazing. And that shows that God was using Solomon, he's giving him his wisdom, so that he could use his own kingdom, God's kingdom, to bless the entire world. God's kingdom was blessing the world. And it's like how it is today. The church, we are the church, we are called to bless the world too. We are called to share the gospel, we are called to share the word, we're called to love our brothers and sisters, and bless the world. Oh. Okay, good. So we're seeing more of Solomon's wisdom here. He is organising his administration and is just very well known across the entire world now for the wisdom that God has given him. Right, if you think I've missed anything or you want to make some notes and additions, please do leave them in the comments, and joining along with me in this journey. And tomorrow we'll do chapter 5. Chapter 5 looks really short, but I will stick to doing one chapter a day, so that if ever you want to look it up or you want to come back and revise something, it's broken down by chapter. I would prefer that. But look, it looks like we're going to make up for it for chapter 7, because chapter 7 and chapter 8 are very long. They could be half-hour, 40-minute videos, those chapters. So what we lack for tomorrow, we will make up in future time in the week. Do not worry. Okay, that's all for now then. I will speak to you tomorrow. Have a lovely day. Bye!